Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be installing an awesome new carbon fiber spoiler sent to us from our friends over at YESLAK. So let's jump right into an unboxing. Alright, so let's jump right into the unboxing. Right off the bat, you can tell that this carbon fiber spoiler was packaged really nicely. It's in this really thick cardboard so it doesn't bend during shipping. And it's taped up really well so that way it does not like open up or anything during the transport. So let's cut open all the tape and we'll take a look at the spoiler. All right, as you can see, this spoiler was taped up and boxed up really well, so that way it does not open up or get damaged during transport. All right, so here we have our carbon fiber spoiler. We'll take it out of this plastic packaging so you guys can see it in just a second. All right, there you guys go. Hopefully you guys can see that. So what we went with a matte carbon fiber spoiler. So something that you would see like on the performance models of the Teslas. So like your Model 3 Highland Performance, or even the previous generation Model Y Performance, they have a matte carbon fiber spoiler. So that's kind of what we went with, just because it has a really nice clean look. Just right off the bat, the carbon fiber weave looks like it's really high quality. I don't see any imperfections or seams, so it looks really nice actually. You can see there on the inside there's already pre-installed double-sided tape that we'll use to install on the back of our trunk lid of our Model Y Juniper. So yeah, it looks really great. Hopefully you guys can see that. We'll install it in our car in just a second. All right, here's just a closer look at the carbon spoiler and some of the accessories that it came with in the box. So I think this right here, this is probably some installation tape that will help you kind of align the edges during the installation process. This is an adhesion promoter that will apply on the vehicle to help kind of get that double-sided tape to stick a little bit better. And then it also includes, looks like some extra double-sided tape. So just in case you need to reapply that double-sided tape, it is there for you. So little close-up of that carbon fiber weave, you can see looks really nice all the way through. So we'll get this on the car in just a second. All right, so the first step in the installation process is just to make sure that you've cleaned the trunk lid where you are going to be installing your spoiler. So I just recently washed my car, and so now I just kind of wiped it down with a microfiber cloth just to remove any dust from the area and making sure that our surface is clean, so that way the double-sided adhesive tape sticks really well to the back of the trunk lid. All right, so now that we have our surface clean, we now want to test fit our carbon fiber spoiler on the trunk lid. So that way we can make sure that it aligns correctly, we get everything centered up, so that way we can start marking things for the final installation. So we'll go ahead and place the spoiler on the trunk lid just to align it. And you'll notice that it sits really flush to the entire trunk lid, which is really nice. You want to kind of measure out from the end of the spoiler to the end of the tailgate. I think it should be about like 4 3/4 of an inch on each side, just to make sure that we are aligned in the center. So I will measure that out and then make sure that we are all aligned in the middle. All right, now that we are aligned in the center with our carbon fiber spoiler to the car, I'm going to use these little installation guides to kind of place at the end that will kind of mark the ends of my spoiler. So after I take it off and apply the adhesion promoter, I then know where my spoiler is going to lie on my trunk lid. So I'm going to take these little pieces of tape and just mark the edges or the ends of that spoiler, just like that. We'll do it for the other side. Perfect, so now I know where that is going to sit. Next up, I'm going to take some double-sided tape and just make some markings along the upper and lower edges of the spoiler. So that way I know where the spoiler is going to sit and where the double-sided tape is going to lie, and then apply the adhesion promoter between those strips of tape. So we'll go ahead and take some painter's tape, since it is easy on the paint. Mark it on the top in a couple of different places so that we can follow these spoiler lines. And then we'll also do the same for the bottom. All right, just like that. So now when we go ahead and remove our spoiler, we can see exactly where the edges of the spoiler are going to be and then where that spoiler is going to sit on that trunk lid. So now we know to apply our adhesion promoter right on that line right there, so that way that double-sided tape sticks to the trunk lid really well. All right, next up is to apply this adhesion promoter to the trunk lid of the car. So that way we get better bonding of the double-sided tape to the car itself. So I'm wearing some gloves for this process just because it seems like this is a little chemically hazardous. So I'm gonna wear some gloves and then apply a thin strip all the way across the vehicle. So we'll go ahead and open this up. We have a little pad here that will open up, and then we will take it along the trunk lid and then just apply it in that area right across the trunk lid where that spoiler is going to sit all the way to the very end. Okay, so just like that. So we'll wait about 5 minutes now for it to completely dry, and then we'll go ahead and finally put on our carbon fiber spoiler. All right, now that the adhesion promoter has fully dried, we can now start the installation of the actual carbon fiber spoiler on the back of our Model Y. So I'm going to use the pigtail method, where I'm going to start pulling the backing off the double-sided tape on one end and leaving it exposed. That way we can kind of pull it off as we kind of press down and go across the back of the car. So we'll kind of get it pulled off to the side just like this. And you can see it kind of hangs off the edges. We'll make sure that we align the edges as best as we can, getting it in that spot that it needs to be, just like that. And then we'll get our measuring tape again, just so that we can measure twice and apply once. So just like the saying goes, right? Measure twice, cut once. Same applies here. So 4 3/4 on that side, and then 4 3/4 on that side as well. So now that we have everything lined up, we can start to go ahead and press down on our spoiler on this end to get it to stick. And then now we will slowly pull the backing of the tape off. All right, so again, pressing down on the spoiler, and then we'll kind of pull this across all the way. All right, after a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears, we finally got the carbon fiber spoiler on. Working with that double-sided sticky tape, it's really, really sticky, so just make sure that you take your time during the installation process. So now that we have our spoiler on, we can go ahead and remove all the tape that we applied to help with the installation. And then there you guys have it. So carbon fiber spoiler looks really, really nice. So I'll show you guys a little close-up of it. So you can see it kind of like tapers down to the end to kind of follow the body lines of the car. So it looks really, really nice. So we'll pull the car out and show you guys another little walk around of the carbon fiber spoiler. All right, so there you guys have it. This is the matte carbon fiber spoiler from YESLAK that we just installed on the back of our 2026 Tesla Model Y Juniper. I'll make sure to link this product in the description box below, so if you guys are interested in purchasing this carbon fiber spoiler for your Model Y Juniper, you know where to go. As always, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this content. We'll keep adding new accessories to this so that way you guys can follow along. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.